LEGO's been hiding secret features in their sets for decades, and most people have no idea what they are. From hidden compartments that only the designers know about, to building techniques that unlock entirely new ways to build. I'm about to show you 23 secret features hiding in LEGO. Starting with a brick separator, because most people think it's just for pulling bricks apart, but it can do way more than that. Obviously, its main function is to separate bricks, but did you know you can use it to put stickers on straight? If you put the sticker on the tip of the handle and slowly apply it, it goes on straighter than it ever would if you used your fingers. So the next time you have to put a sticker on, just use the brick separator. If you thought that was cool though, let me show you something about minifigures that's gonna blow your mind. You know how minifigure hands have that little wrist on them so they can go inside the arm? Well, that wrist is the exact same size as the hip socket on a minifigure's legs. So you can literally connect a minifigure's hand directly into another minifigure's hip, and it makes a surprisingly strong connection. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I ever need to do this? And honestly, I don't know. But the fact that it works is pretty cool. People use this technique to make custom poses, like making weird minifigure towers where they're all connected hand to hip. But it's one of those hidden connections that LEGO definitely designed on purpose, but never really told anyone about. Now, if you've ever built a Technic set, you've probably noticed how precise everything is. Like the holes always line up perfectly, the gears always mesh together, and nothing ever feels off by even a millimeter. Well, there's actually a reason for that, and it's because of something called modules. One LEGO module is the distance from the center of one stud to the center of the next stud, and it's exactly 8 millimeters. Every single Technic piece is designed using this measurement, which is why everything fits together so perfectly. Once you know about this, you start to realize just how much thought LEGO puts into making sure every single piece works with every other piece, even ones that came out 20 years apart. All of these techniques are sick, but now let's talk about hidden features in actual LEGO sets, starting with one of the coolest modular buildings ever made, the detective's office. This set has a secret storage compartment hidden behind a picture frame on the wall, and you can actually open it up and store stuff inside of it. This is one of those features that's super easy to miss if you're not paying attention while you're building, but once you know it's there, it makes the set so much better. But the detective's office isn't the only modular building with a hidden feature. The brick bank has one of the funniest play features LEGO's ever made, and it has to do with money laundering. The set has a laundromat on the first floor that's connected to a vault. There are 4 machines in total, but one of them is red while the other 3 are blue. That red piece is there to let people know that that machine is out of order, but that's actually a lie. Whoever owns this place is using that machine to launder money into the safe. When you put a piece into that machine, it comes out on the other side and goes right into the vault. So not only is this a perfect representation of money laundering, but it's a play on words too, because to launder money, you have to make sure it's clean first. Get it? Clean, washing machine. Anyways, clearly LEGO goes pretty hard for their modular building sets. So let's look at another one, the Natural History Museum. In this set, there's a minifigure of a window washer hanging off the side of the building, and that minifigure is actually based on the guy who designed the set, Chris McVie. He literally put himself into the set as a minifigure, which is such a cool way to sign your work. Most people would never notice this unless someone told them, but now that you know about it, it's a cool fact you can tell your friends. This isn't even the only set Chris has put himself into though, because he's also in the police station set from the modular buildings theme. In the LEGO world, the police station has a donut thief. We can see who it is from a picture on LEGO's website, and if we look at this picture of Chris from the instructions, there's no doubt about it. It's definitely him. Cool features like these aren't just in modern LEGO sets though. LEGO's been hiding secret features in their builds for decades. Nothing quite like a minifigure cameo, but they're still there. A lot of the classic sets from the 80s and 90s have hidden trap doors built into them. The fire-breathing fortress has one that drops enemies into a dungeon with a dragon inside of it. Features like this were way ahead of their time, and they're a big reason why people still love these old castle sets. So of course, LEGO had to keep it going in the Lion Knights castle set from 2022. This set has a million different details I could talk about, but I just want to focus on one. The set is made up of 2 giant builds put together, and when you take them apart, you can find a secret room at the bottom of it. This is already pretty sick, but this secret room can actually be accessed from a few different points. The first one is a food stand that's secretly a trap door. Once you see it move, you notice the hinges on the ground, but if you didn't know about it, it would actually blend in really well. The second access point is a cave that leads to water at the bridge of the castle. When the 2 giant builds are connected, the cave and the room are right next to each other, so it's a perfect pathway. If you're making your own build though, and want to add some cool features, these next few techniques will help you out a lot. If you want to make a sliding door or a secret drawer, the key is using tiles. Since they don't have any studs on top, they have no clutch power, which means they can slide really smoothly against other pieces. So if you build a drawer or a door using tiles, it'll open and close way easier than if you used regular bricks. There's actually a perfect example of this in the LEGO Minecraft Skeleton Dungeon set. The only reason the skeleton spawner in the corner is so smooth is because there are only tiles around it. If they use plates instead, it probably wouldn't even work. Another technique that's super useful is using hinged plates to create opening walls. If you've ever seen a modular building that opens up to show the interior, like the one in the Lion Knight's castle, odds are it's using hinged plates. You can attach them to the side of a build, and then the entire wall will swing open like a door. This is one of those techniques that seems complicated at first, but once you try it, you'll realize it's actually really simple, and it makes your build so much more functional. But what if you want to make something posable, like a dragon or a robot? Well, the secret is using Technic ball joints. These pieces can create movable arms, legs, and pretty much any other articulated feature you can think of. The ball joints give you way more freedom than regular hinges, and they're strong enough to hold their position even when you're moving the build around. This is one of those techniques that separates beginner MOC builders from advanced ones. So if you're trying to level up your building skills, definitely start experimenting with ball joints. Okay, this next technique might be a little illegal, but it's genuinely so underrated. LEGO makes this stuff called FlexTube, and you can do some pretty crazy stuff with it. A guy named Will F posted an article on Brick Nerd in 2021 showing just how capable this tube really is, and it's really surprising. Will was making a trolley, and on the bottom, he put minifigure hands inside FlexTube to stretch them across the width of the trolley. This is some real brainiac stuff, but there's still more. Will came up with a way to make a double-sided plate piece using FlexTube, and this is where the possibly illegal stuff comes in. He took an X-Acto knife and cut the flex tube to some very specific measurements. Then he put it in the backside of a plate piece and connected another plate to it. Now, is this illegal? We don't really know, but one thing's for sure, it's sick. Alright, let's get back to hidden features in actual sets, because I know we all love those. The Christmas Penguin set has a secret snowflake hidden in the base of the build that you'd never even know was there unless you built the set yourself. It doesn't serve any purpose, it's just there to look cool, and honestly, that's what makes it so special. LEGO could have just made the base solid, but instead, they added this little detail that most people will never see. It's stuff like this that makes you realize just how much LEGO cares about their designs. Another set with a hidden feature is Regana's Magic Shadow Castle from the Elves theme. The front of the set has these giant doors with a walkway leading up to it, and if you put a minifigure on the walkway and just move it forward, it slides forward and the doors open up with it. But if you want a set that's all about secret compartments, the Dot secret holder was basically made for that. The cat-shaped holder has 2 secret compartments hidden in the body, so you can store jewelry, candy, or whatever else you want to keep safe. The best part is that the compartments are actually pretty hard to find if you don't know where to look, so it works as a legit hiding spot. This next secret compartment isn't as useful for stuff in real life, but if you want to hide some golden LEGO coins, it's perfect for that. It's in the King Leo's Castle set from the year 2000, and along with booby traps, chest catapults, and gate droppers, there's a secret stash hidden under the king's throne. All you have to do is pull it back, and it'll flip up to reveal a very well-hidden piggy bank. It's only right that the king has a hiding spot for all his valuables, and what better place to hide it than somewhere only the king can go? LEGO really likes using this trap door feature with chairs, because it's also in the LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle set from 2001. If you go over to Professor Dumbledore's chair, you can flip it up and find a secret storage compartment underneath it, just like the one from King Leo's castle. I'm sure Dumbledore has a bunch of stuff he wants to keep secret, so this is perfect for him. Another Harry Potter set with a cool feature like this is the Hogwarts Express from 2023, and it has a really tasteful play feature hiding on the boarding platform. To get to platform 9 3/4, you have to run through a wall that isn't really a wall. It's one of the most well-known things in Harry Potter, and it's actually recreated in this set. Obviously, LEGO can't make a fake wall, so instead they made one that flips up when you push on it. Clearly, LEGO really likes using this flip technique, because there's another one in the Treasure Island set from LEGO Pirates. This one is literally staring you right in the face, but it's still a little hard to put together. If you push down on the palm tree on the right, the skull turns into a giant gate and flips upward. Once you know it's there, it's really obvious, but if you don't know about it, it's not the easiest thing to spot. Okay, wow, that was a lot of hidden stuff in sets. So now let me show you some pieces you can use as tools while you build. There's a piece called the spanner wrench that only comes in certain sets, and it can actually be used as a tile remover. So it's basically a mini brick separator that your minifigures can hold. I don't know if LEGO designed it like this on purpose, but it works surprisingly well. If you want something more precise though, the dot sets come with 3 different tile removing tools, including 2 that are shaped like keys. These tools are designed for tile surgery, which means you can remove individual tiles without messing with any of the ones around them. If you've ever tried to fix one tile in a sea of tiles, you know how frustrating it can be to remove just one without messing up the rest. So these tools are genuinely game-changing. This last technique technically doesn't use Lego pieces, but it works perfectly with Lego. A lot of MOC builders use regular rubber bands inside their builds to make spring-loaded trap doors and other mechanisms. The rubber bands create tension, so when you release the mechanism, it snaps back into place automatically. This is one of those techniques that feels like cheating, but Lego themselves have actually used it before. In the Lego Star Wars X-Wing set from 2012, there's a knob on the back that controls the tension of 2 different rubber bands. It's used to change the X-Wing from regular mode to fighting mode, so it really is a good technique. But what was your favorite secret Lego feature in this video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.